this over here. Sorry, I'm just doing a YouTube thing, so.
Oh no, you're fine.
Everything's good. Alright, so I'm just doing a live stream thing. So also we are going to curse here, and we might be insulting people.
That's fine.
That's why I'm here. But I'm mixed race, so I can get away with it. I can put everybody. Except for Asians and Jewish people. Yeah. You guys hear the movie tomorrow?
What movie? What time?
They're re-releasing the South Park movie tomorrow.
What, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be in East Hanover, so they're doing a sing-along.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
Hey. Alright, we're gonna get started. Wait, Kay?
Yep.
Oh my god, hey Kay, what's up? You're on the live stream. Good, you're not, but like your voice is a cool person like that.
Yes.
Alright, here we go. Hi, my name is Katie Monk and I'm an alcoholic. I also make South Park YouTube videos such as South Park Disability Rep. My most recent one was actually yesterday. It was a South Park video about the top 15 most offensive episodes. And number 1 was the Death Camp of Tolerance. So you can find me on these places. So yeah. Now, South Park has been around for 25 years. I have been around for 24. And in that time, they have wrapped up many, many scandals. Many. For example, the first one I found was Russia actually tried to ban the show. Now, a lot of countries have banned the show. Sierra Leone banned the show because of Buddha snorting cocaine. But Russia actually took legal action to get the show off the air, or at least a bunch of protesters did. So South Park basically aired on 2X2, which is the Adult Swim of Russia, which has a bunch of American shows. The Looney Tunes show. Use a butthead? Wow, damn, I love that show. King of the Hill. That's like a weird one. But in 2008, a group of moral guardians, including the Russian Pentecostal Church, banded together with Russian prosecutors to have 2X2 closed down for airing episodes of South Park. Now, they didn't say the whole show, because they needed one episode, so they picked Mr. Hanky's Christmas Classics. Which, honestly, you picked this episode, it's not that bad. Like, I think maybe the only one is when Carmen's singing the song, like, Jews are fucking lame, but that's about it. Like, they said that it fosters hatred between religions, so it should be banned, and they used, like, seriously, look, that episode, there's like 20 million more you could have chosen. And this is 2008, so they had a shitload. But why Mr. Hanky? So at the time, Russia amended a law which said that extremist shows could be removed from Russian airways if they showed the abasement of national dignity or inciting religious and national hatred. So basically, if a show says fuck Russia, it gets banned. So obviously the lawsuit failed, and 2X2, actually, they got their license extended for 5 more years. But then Ukraine happened, so they lost all these shows. So now all these shows like K-pop dramas, so poor Russians. Also, Russia did ban 2 episodes in particular, but I don't know if it was like they banned the episodes or if they just removed scenes, and I don't know which because I've heard conflicting reports, so I just put both of them. Pinewood Derby because it features Putin, even though like it does not make fun of him at all. And Free Wilziak because they call him Putin and they think that it's like a prank call from George Bush. So like I can understand the bottom one.
Was that the whale episode?
Yes! You know, I thought I was going to make fun of the movie Blackfish, but it's just a standalone episode. Also, the Mexican flag. Who here is Latino?
Yeah, but I ain't Mexican.
Me too. I'm Afro-Cuban and Puerto Rican. Now, in Pinewood Derby, Randy discovers faster than light travel, and he gets in contact with all the world leaders through a multi-way call, not even an iPhone, like one of those fucking flip phones. So they discover an alien left behind speech cache, blah blah blah, shit happens, and we see Mexico! So the space cops tell the humans that they discovered Mexico built a bunch of new water parks and hospitals, and then Randy scolds them like, oh, can somebody who speaks Spanish please tell Mexico to shut up? And they have the Mexican flag, and it's the Mexican president at the time. No, actually they've led into a ton of controversy. So South Park airs in Mexico on MTV Latin America, because it's like, you're right, so even if MTV, well actually yeah, MTV is owned by Viacom. So Pinewood Derby was supposed to air on February 8th, 2010, but it never happened, and they have rerun of the Jonas Brothers episode, which I love. It's not the Pinewood Derby. So why was it banned? Apparently it was due to the episode making Mexico's theme terrible because Mexico was the first country to get spotted. Even though I'd argue they kind of did a good thing because in context of the episode, everybody was using it for selfish reasons. And I guess watermarks are kind of selfish, but they also built hospitals, which they desperately needed. And like watermarks create jobs, so kind of like everybody else just made like stupid stuff like sports stadiums or like giant robots. Like how does that help?
Oh yeah, you did say hospitals.
Yeah, like they literally said hospitals. So
Yeah.
like in context, it's actually like a good thing they got spotted. So the Mexican Ministry of the Interior, because Mexico basically has a propaganda department, wanted to promote Calderon, the Mexican president, this guy, as the employment president, which I think he is in context because he's making jobs. And they believe the episode tarnished his image, and Comedy Central apparently never got permission to air it, so it got banned, but then fans persisted, and months later, because remember, it was supposed to air on February 8th, it aired on February 4th. Now, ironically, somebody did ask Matt Stone about this, and he said he didn't pay attention to it because it was so far away. And I imagine stuff like this happens all the time. If you guys want, you can just talk. Okay, Scientology. Who here is a Scientologist? Come on, be honest. Me neither, I'm an agnostic.
I don't have enough money.
Me neither.
Crossing my neck. Not really.
I know a lot about it now.
Oh yeah. I
Well,
learned
this episode made me like research it a bunch.
Oh yeah, if you guys want, my friend Blooms, he made a whole video on Scientology's beef with South Park, so you should totally check it out. So, Trapped in the Closet aired, and it made fun of Scientology. Back when Scientology would sue you for just saying their name. So the episode, instead of just saying Scientology sucks, they actually consulted a journalist who went undercover in the Church of Scientology, and he found out all of their secrets, like the story of Xenu. So, who here knows who runs Scientology? It's not Tom Cruise. Who is that, Kate?
It's David Miscavige, but it was originally a book by L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah, those dicks. But so he has a niece because he has no kids. Jenna Hill, who was raised in the church, she didn't know about the story until she watched the episode. That tells you how like insane it is. Like imagine being a Catholic and not knowing about the story of Jesus' resurrection or Adam and Eve. Oh fuck, what happened? Okay, here we go. Come on. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna go here. We're just gonna look it up manually. So anybody? Oh, fucking whore. Okay, you know what we're gonna do it at the end, okay? We're going to see all the clips at the end, which actually does suck though because I have a couple of clips. Okay, so going to watch it at the end. Could we? No, we can't. Okay, so who here knows what fair game is? Okay, so in Scientology, if you openly criticize the church and you're not a member, they have this thing called fair game where they can get revenge on you. So like how, you know how one of the band members spoke out against that dude from that 70s show? He brought the case against them, so they killed his dog because he brought a case against them. And he said that he raped his wife.
Danny Masterson?
Yes, that guy! I forgot his name, and yet...
He spoke out?
No, the guy whose wife he raped.
Oh.
Yes, they were in a band, and he said he wrote a song about what happened, and that Scientology, because he spoke out, they killed his dog.
Oh, I
I like they made fun of that on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I
Yeah!
don't know if anybody watches Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I do, I hate the last
They had that whole episode where it was like Nutriboom pyramid scheme, but then they were like dropping like Scientology like ish hints, and they had their spokesperson, and he was like, I don't want to work for them. They just stole my dog, and I want it back.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Well, two things. I like that you use the word does not exclude women from an occupation, and two, except the last season.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, it was like they just. But anyway, Scientology tried fair game with Matt and Trey, and they failed. This is what they did. They like tracked down people who knew them, like Rebecca Romaine, and like background checked all of them. They sent private investigators to go through their trash, their catering, their email. emails, their garbage, their parking records, what they did. Like, they basically doxed them without doxing them. So they even tried to hire a film student to send to South Park Studios as an intern, but apparently they didn't do that, so that didn't happen. But Matt and Trey were such boring pieces of shit that... So, okay, who here likes food?
Huh?
Who here likes food? That Netflix likes food. But, okay, who here likes Isaac Hayes? Who here likes Aqua Teen?
Yeah.
Who here likes the Brood Witch? From Aqua Teen, the sandwich episode.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
Did you know his son voiced the Brood Witch?
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
But, okay, so Isaac Hayes, also fun fact, did you know Barry White was supposed to voice Chef, but he didn't want to because he was a Christian, the show went against his values? Okay, so anyway, Chef was voiced by Isaac Hayes, and something you might not know is Isaac Hayes was a Scientologist. And you remember the episode with Ritalin? He loved that episode because Scientology does not believe in psychology. That's why What's-Her-Face did not appear in Frasier, because she's a Scientologist, or she was. So after Trap in the Closet aired, Isaac left the show, and he said that he thought it was offensive as all hell. So then when season 10 came along, because he basically quit between the interim, they made an episode explaining their plots, where they killed off Chef, and they basically turned Scientology into a bunch of pedophiles called the Super Adventure Club.
Yeah.
And they're like so bad, like, why would you join us? So the boys convinced Chef to overcome his brainwashing and come home, but then he dies, like, probably super gruesomely. And Chef is present, but they use old vocal clips. So the episode is supposed to make fun of Isaac, and even though they do make fun of him in typical South Park fashion, I think it's pretty optimistic. Like, they're saying, like, Isaac, you're our friend, but we don't approve of your choices. If you ever want to come back, you can. But then Chef becomes starved chef, and he goes around the world raping children. Now, believe it or not, this is true. Isaac never left by choice. It's really, really sad. So Isaac Hayes' son, Isaac III, did an interview with Hollywood Reporter with Matt and Trey, where he said that at the time of Trapped in the Closet, like a few weeks after, his father had a stroke. So you know what a stroke, like, you basically, half your body's paralyzed, right? So, like, you can't move without, like, physical therapy. Just keep that in mind. So his entire staff, like his assistants, his managers, were made up of Scientologists. So when he was in a coma, they basically wrote up the piece and made it seem like he did it. So, yeah. And then he woke up, found out he didn't have a job, and because of Scientology, he couldn't defend himself. And he couldn't even talk. Like, they said, like, he couldn't even talk. So, basically, South Park was his main income at that point, so leaving meant he had to go back on tour, and he had to perform while he was still doing physical therapy. So, again, that's, like, fucking sad and disgusting. So, many noticed his health and speech problems, but they had no clue, so they just thought he was a whiny hypocrite who needed money. So then in 2010, he died of another stroke, and then the China problem, which came out closest to his death, was dedicated to him. And, okay, how many of you guys watched Die Hippie Die? That's the last episode he spoke in. And you know what his last line was? I'm alive. Because he has to be the black guy who sacrifices himself. So, actually, believe it or not, he did not quit like the day after the episode aired. It was between the interim. And it's because of another thing called Closet Gate. He didn't even care about the episode. He didn't say, like, I'm a little disappointed you made it, but it's just something you guys do, so. Who here likes Tom Cruise? Is an actor. You are Greg.
As an actor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And the person. Okay. Tom Cruise was the main focal point of Trapped in the Closet because he locked himself in a closet and he's gay. So, Trapped in the Closet did not rerun during its scheduled date, and it was replaced with Chocolate Salty Balls, which they said was because Isaac Hayes left, but So, many believed it was because Tom Cruise was starring in Mission Impossible 3, which was owned by Paramount, and he said that he would quit publicizing the movie if they aired the episode again. However, Tom Cruise and his agent eventually both sat down and said they didn't even watch the episode, which I don't know if he's lying and it was just a PR move or if he really didn't, but either way, the controversy was cleared up and then the episode's re-aired in circulation. I saw it the other night, actually. Who here likes Michael Moore? Who here had to watch Bowling for Columbine? That movie is a lie. All of his movies are a lie. It only sucks to agree some of his movies. So Michael Moore and Matt and Trey like beef with each other big time. So, oh my god, I hated Bowling for Columbine. So it's the movie that said that gun control was a big reason for Columbine. So, okay, how many of you guys know about the myth that the shooters were like these sad people lashing out at the world? Yeah, that's all fake. Actually, they say it's a very dangerous myth. Most of the time, it's like gun control. Like, basically, those kids needed therapy because nobody knows the warning signs, but they weren't like sad and lashing out. They were like literal sociopaths. And like, they had friends, they were popular. I mean, King of the Hill, the episode where Luann quits beauty school, actually helped one of the survivors because she had a crush on him. But he basically interviewed Matt Stone because he lived near Columbine, and he said he was a firearm owner, which did not come up, and they basically just talked about Columbine. However, after the interview, there was a South Park segment which basically said that gun control was linked to race, and that the KKK and the creation of the NRA were linked, which they were not, apparently. I think Lincoln actually started the NRA. It was made to improve marksmanship. So even nowadays, they're more conservative. They're like, that wasn't their whole point. So Matt and Trey hated this because one, they did not agree with the movie, and two, they did not animate that segment, so it started a vendetta with Michael Moore. Team America! Fuck yeah! How many of you guys watch Team America? I'm sorry, I did not watch it. I only watched the 8th song. He detonates! But it features many celebrities at the time. And Matt Trey said, like, they made this point, most celebrities they don't, like, care about. They just pick them because they're easy targets. And a lot of them liked being in the movie. However, Michael Moore was the one they actually hated. And we have another clip I'll have to show at the end. Oh, I think I have 2 clips I'm going to have to show at the end. Okay, so Michael Moore in this version is a fat idiot that's always stuffing his face and holding onto food. He's basically... Did you guys watch the smoking episode?
Yeah.
So he's like Rob Reiner, basically. But like it's a puppet, so they would do like the weirdest stuff to his puppet. And at one point, he suicide bombs the heroes. Oh crap, I couldn't say that word. Crap, YouTube, crap. And for the explosion, they just stuffed his puppet up with ham. So they also made fun of him in South Park. So in 1%, they make fun of the Occupy Wall Street rally with Timmy and Jimmy, and how maybe they did have a good point, but they didn't make it clear what their point was. So people think they're part of Occupy Red Robin when really they have a legitimate point to make. And it attracts media attention, especially Michael Moore. So it's like the 2 kids are just there and Michael Moore's like this badass and he's like screaming in their faces and they're like... Okay, how many of you guys are Christian? Catholic? Trey's Catholic? I was too, unfortunately. So, oh yeah, Kate actually was the one who told me about one of these episodes, so I put it. So, after the controversy with Muhammad, Bill Donahue, the head of the American Catholic League, which he still is, it's a real organization, called Matt and Trey little whores. This was after Cartoon Wars, when they made the point, like, everything. Then Bloody Mary happened. So they had this whole beef with the Catholic League. He even, like, talked about them in one of the newer episodes that made fun of the church. Because, you know the one with the priest called, like, I love Jesus! He hated that whole episode. So in Bloody Mary, which is a weird one I have a weird relationship with because addiction runs in my family, Randy gets a DUI and they say he's an alcoholic, but really he's just a problem drinker. Even Stan's like, you just have to drink less. He's like, I wish it were that simple, son. So he acts like he's terminally ill, like probably the hardest I ever laughed at South Park. He like shaves his head and sits in a wheelchair and a blanket like he's Walter White. He's like, Stan, I need another beer. Stan, I'm gonna die in his legs, I'm gonna run out of beer. So he thinks only a miracle can cure him, even though nowadays they have pills. And the Pope, and he thinks it's because of a Virgin Mary statue. And he's like, she's beautiful. Ah! Only the Pope himself goes to examine the statue, and he's like, and he's like, the statue isn't a miracle because chicks bleed on their period all the time. Because who cares if this one statue is bleeding? It's a chick. So, the Catholic League obviously took offense to this episode, especially because it aired during the Feast Day of Immaculate Conception, which I don't think they knew about, I have no clue about, and unless you, like, physically participate in church, you probably don't know about, so you just know it's like Christmas. So, they admonished Viacom board member Joseph Califano, because he was a practicing Catholic, and they told him to retire the episode, otherwise God was going to smite his ass. So Joseph took the Catholic League side, and the episode was out of circulation, even though Comedy Central did say they were only going to hold it until the controversy died down, since it's a return. So, do you guys remember the episode with the nun and Satan and Saddam Hussein?
Mhm.
So the nun is played by Anne Garofino because she's the only Catholic they know. So she's Sister Anne. So she was the one who pitched the episode. A Catholic, a practicing Catholic, preached the episode. And you know the scenes with the blood, like on the priest and everything? That was her idea. Yeah, so it's like, you can't get mad. So, New Zealand. Who here has been to New Zealand? Wants to go to New Zealand? But I do want to try. I do like their shows. Like Knuckle Cusack shows. So, conservative activists banded together when they found out Bloody Mary was going to air there, and they encouraged people to boycott the channel it would be on, and their efforts were so notable that even the president of New Zealand got involved and said she didn't like the episode, but they had a right to air it. So, eventually, Seaford aired the episode early because of the controversy and because people were threatening to take sponsorships away, and it was their highest rated program at the time. So, Easter! Yay! Easter! This is the one that directly talks about the American Catholic League. So, this is one of my personal favorites. During the next season, Stan discovers the truth about Easter. It's meant to keep the fact that St. Peter was a rabbit. It's so stupid! But the secret is protected by men, including Stan's father and grandfather, even though I feel like it could also be other guys. Okay. So then we meet Pope Bill Donahue. He doesn't even have a name. He's not like Pope William or Pope Bill. He's literally Pope Bill Donahue. He's like John Redcorn. So Pope Bill Donahue of the American Catholic League is tasked by the Pope at the time to take custody of the rabbit. But he uses a variety of methods to be sure they have the rabbit. And keep in mind, the Pope doesn't want to do anything to the rabbit, like kill it. He just wants to probably just keep it in a little pen. But he wants to kill the rabbit, use ninjas, trap people in cages, and serve them up to the poor as rabbit stew. My personal favorite, though, trying to kill Jesus.
Yeah.
He's like, the Jew goes against the church, he must die. Like, I'm sorry, Bill, but I'm pretty sure that killing Jesus is not very Christian. That's my favorite line. So then he usurps the Pope for actually having a brain, and he's like, get the Jew out of here. So in the end, Jesus executes him with a ninja throwing star, and the Pope allows Snowball to take his place because a rabbit can't talk to the whole church. But I think it's a good idea. So, believe it or not, Bill Donahue actually liked this episode, but not like it changed his mind or anything, like with Kanye for like 2 weeks. But he was amused by it, and he keeps a picture of his character with the Pope hat on his desk, so I think that's kind of cute. Kind of blasphemous though. Muhammad! How many of you guys are Muslims? How many of you guys know any? Any? So, we're going to talk about the biggest controversy, the one that is biggest, and it led to the banning of 5 episodes. Well, more like 3, but then HBO Max banned and 2 others, so not HBO Max. The ruining animation! So, in Islam, it's considered blasphemy to depict Muhammad because it's adultery, because you might worship the image more than the actual figure. But this is basically a stereotype because not all Muslims believe in it. Like Shia Muslims are against it. There's nothing in the Quran about it. At one point, like for hundreds of years, they depicted Muhammad in art. So it's like just more extremist versions. It's like Catholic against condoms, basically. So, plus other faiths have had similar beliefs that you can't depict stuff. Like in Judaism, you can't say Yahweh, or you can't say God, you just like cross it out. Or there was the 8th command, that's what the 8th command basically is, and there was a period in Christianity where you could only depict crosses, that's why everybody wears them nowadays. So, the first episode to depict Muhammad was Super Best Friends. It's terrible. He has friends that see him all the time. So Muhammad is basically a member of the superhero group, and he has pyrokinesis, so he can control fire. And the group is called to stop David Blaine and his cult of Blaintologists, after his cult is denied tax-exempt status. So basically, it's Scientology. They say it was supposed to be Scientology. So. The episode aired in 2001, but believe it or not, there was no controversy. Do you want to see the worst picture you guys are ever going to see? Where's?
Sure.
Yeah, here we go. Oh my God, look at that. He looks like a normal guy. Oh my God. Eyes are burning. But honestly, it's not that bad. I think I've been way worse if you think about it. The only downside is I feel like they don't really do anything to save Muhammad. Like, if you just told me that's a normal Muslim guy, I probably would believe you. At least with, like, Jesus, he looks like how Jesus is stereotypically depicted, so. But they don't mock him or anything. They don't mock, like, Muslims. They just, like, he's just like a super veteran. He saves the day, and that's it.
Was this aired before or after 9/11?
And that's a good question. Look it up right now. Look at the horrible image with his scarf, and he's like,
Because especially if it was like post 9/11, just like the rampant Islamophobia in the United States at the time, like that would have accounted for why nobody cared.
oh, it aired July 4th. July 4th? Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I had no way to watch these episodes when I first started watching South Park when I was like 15-ish. And I had to go on a not safe for work website to literally like watch these episodes because that was the only place that I could find files.
WCO TV? WCO Stream? Oh my God.
No, it's okay. It's a porn site. I don't want to say that.
Yeah, no offense, that happened to me one time. I'm just curious when I looked at the SpongeBob episode. They had a whole, like, the secret box episode.
I don't know. These episodes were just like so hard to find. This was like 15 years ago.
No, it's hard to find nowadays unless you have, like, Cut Locker.
Yeah.
Cartoon Wars. This is another controversy. This is where the controversy of depicting Muhammad actually became a thing. But why?
Because religious figures are represented in like imagination land, right? I know it's a different thing.
Isn't it? He's not into imagination.
No, not Muhammad.
Okay, how many of you guys remember Jylan's Polston?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember this at all. Like, I didn't even hear about it. I was like 5 years old. I didn't start watching South Park seriously until I was like 11 or 12, so. Okay, so on September 30th, 2005, the Danish newspaper Jyllands Posten released 12 pictures of Muhammad, and they were drawn by Danish cartoonists and meant to call attention to censorship. So this led to a major global controversy, with debates about whether or not you could depict Muhammad. It was to the point where, like, it got banned in multiple countries. It was a big deal. So then we got Cartoon Wars, which was supposed to be the first episodes of season 10, but then Jeff left, so yeah. So in 2006, South Park released a two-parter where they basically make fun of the controversy, but with Family Guy as Jylan's Posten. So they showed an image of Muhammad, or they're going to, and then whenever they do, they basically act like it's the end of the world. And they even reference it, like, Stan, after those Danishes did it, we can't do it, or whatever. So this causes untold horror, blah, 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 blah. In the end, the Family Guy episode airs, and they show Muhammad for like 2 seconds. They're like, okay, that was it? Alright, wow. So apparently Muhammad was meant to appear, but Comedy Central banned it. Part 1 was just written, and then part 2, they had a lot of, like, the network would go back and forth with them, so it got depicted. So, like, at one point, Kyle talks to the head of the Fox network, and it's basically based on what Matt and Trey were talking to him about. They even call him by name, so. Look it, they did the Lord's work. I'm sorry, you wanted to pick Muhammad, I really did. This must be true. So actually Matt and Trey hate Cartoon Wars because they feel like more people paid attention to Family Guy and what they said than about, like, Muhammad. So the crews from The Simpsons and King of the Hill both send Matt and Trey flowers and they praise them, but to be fair, Mike Judge is friends with Matt and Trey, and Matt Groening is friends with Matt and Trey, and Matt Groening is friends with Seth, and Mike Judge is also friends with Seth. So I think they probably just meant it as a joke, or like I hate the sin, love the sinner kind of thing. So yeah, even Seth said he liked the episode. It's like funny and accurate, so I think that's pretty cool. Also, you guys remember the Britney Spears episode?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like weird to watch now. But okay, so apparently, I don't know how true this is, but Britney did not like that episode, and I don't know if she legitimately did not like that episode or it was something like her father didn't like it and told her not to like it. So she tried to get Seth MacFarlane to make fun of South Park because of the episode. Apparently, is what I heard, and he didn't want to do it because he didn't want to invite any rivalry. So that's what happened. Because she actually liked what Family Guy said about her, which basically depicted her as a fat, horrible mother. So yeah, it's like this is the biggest one to date, the 200 and 201 two-parter. Like, it's so hard to find the uncensored version of 201 because a lot of like the piracy sites only show it from the night it aired. So all the celebrities band together to sue the town for defaming them and calling Tom Cruise a fudge packer because he's literally packing fudge in a box. That's his job. It's not gay. So they all band together and we see a bunch of past characters and we get the twist on who Cartman's real father is. Oh, I should have included the ginger twist. You'll talk about it at the end. So the celebrities agree to drop the lawsuit if they get Muhammad because Muhammad's a goo that, if ingested, makes one immune to being made fun of. But the gingers also want Muhammad. It's blah, 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 blah. Also, these two episodes got the whole show banned in Sri Lanka because Buddha was snorting cocaine. So Matt and Trey, after the first episode aired, got death threats, and their biggest critic was Revolution Muslim, a group in New York who basically said this. And they also made a much bigger post, but they were hacked, and the website was replaced with images of Muhammad. Like, one of them, he had a bomb on his head, and the other one, he was kissing a little boy. So this guy, he wrote that he basically made a threat against Matt and Trey, which he made the point it's not supposed to be a threat, it was just supposed to be like a warning, basically. Like, if you keep doing this, then Muslims are gonna, like, attack you. So he also made videos where he, like, doxed them, so he put details about their home and everything, but he was sentenced to 25 years in prison for unrelated charges. He's still in prison nowadays, it's worth feeling. 201, well, 200 was not going to air in a couple of countries. Because of this, the same happened for 201. And the NYPD was on watch at all times because Viacom is headquartered there. You guys ever seen the Lion King musical? Oh, because they share like a headquarters with Viacom. But anyway, it featured all instances of Muhammad's name being bleeped and an ending speech, which we will get to afterwards. So 2 weeks after the episode aired, there was a failed car bombing in Times Square, but they found out there was no link. Everybody draw Muhammad! Right now. No, I'm kidding. So in 2010, Seattle-based cartoonist Molly Harris created Everybody Draw Muhammad Day! And it got almost 100,000 followers. But this got a ton of controversy. The thing was, she felt that if more people drew Muhammad, then the terrorists couldn't kill everybody, so. However, because of this, she was forced to change her name, go into hiding, she was put on an Al-Qaeda hit list, and she had to quit her job, and to this day, she is still in hiding. So, yeah, Facebook was also temporarily banned in several countries, so yeah. There was also an Everybody Don't Draw Muhammad Day, so. There's also banned in China! In the episode, Randy goes to China to try and sell weed, while Stan tries to write his own musical biopic, but they find out that the US and their countries basically cave into China because of the amount of people there. So, Chinese censors are notoriously stringy. Like, you guys ever watch Fight Club?
Yeah.
So, you know the ending of Fight Club? So in China, they changed it to like a little text box that says like he got arrested by the police because of the values. So yeah, that's how like stringent they are. Like they won't allow Winnie the Pooh, even though nowadays they kind of do, and they do it in several Disney parks. They don't allow the Dalai Lama because of Tibet. They don't allow organ factor donations. So basically, Stan doesn't want to work with the Chinese after that, but Randy does, and he makes a fudge load of money. And the message is, if you want freedom or preach about freedom, but you cater to the Chinese government, you're a hypocrite. So China banned the whole show and the episode outright, to the point where you can only find it if you have like a VPN in China. However, on a positive note, you guys remember the Hong Kong protests? They actually aired the episode on a public street multiple times, like on a loop, like on a big projector, just to protest. Okay, time for clips. Alright, how many of you guys saw the new special? I did not see it. I thought it was all weird, like it wasn't working before when I was there. Okay, here we're going to first clip. Wow, it's a really good. Okay, here we go, first clip. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay, here's the Genovese cabbage clip. Here we go. Should load. Yeah, no, here we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, how many of you guys think South Park should just keep on doing specials? How many of you guys think they should do a new season for Rancho?
Yes, new
We
season.
had like a new season.
Hey.
Oh no.
It's so weird. Why isn't it working? Like, it wasn't working at breakfast. It only worked in my room. That sucks. Okay, we're gonna try another clip. Maybe a shorter clip right here. That's Michael Moore in South Park. Not in South Park, in Team America. Michael Moore, come on. Oh, come on. You, like, made a whole movie where you lied and you can't even do this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, yeah, we're just gonna play it on my phone. Alright, I'm gonna play the speech uncensored. It wouldn't even load on my phone. That is like so weird. It was like working fine at breakfast.
Are you connected to the hotel's Wi-Fi?
Yeah! I even connected to my own Wi-Fi. It's like, ugh. Okay. Can you guys, do you guys know who these celebrities are? Oh, fine.
I saw Bono.
Yeah, I don't know, it was the biggest shit in the world. The bitty. Oh, also, Rob Reiner.
Well, it's also the heat, so
Oh.
I'm stroke.
I know. I'm on. This is like my third shirt.
Ah, fuck.
I'm just. I'm so confused.
It's bad. I wouldn't be.
Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness.
I like the cosplay though.
We got it.
What is the most closely guarded or secretive aspect of it? Because for some reason, like you look at Catholicism, we all know what the commandments are. There's a lot of inner workings of the church that we don't understand, but we understand what the tenets of the church are. What is the most secret part of Scientology or thing that they worry about leaking?
Well, you know that stuff about the aliens and the volcanoes?
I don't know what that. No, what is that?
Oh, gosh.
It's like
I
the
hope
whole basis of
Yeah.
Scientology.
Yeah, well, you don't know about that when you're in Scientology until you reach a certain level. Like, you have to receive a certain amount of training and counseling, and it can take years, and, you know, the public Scientologist has to pay a lot of money before they get there.
Whoa.
And, like, so this is, like, totally confidential. I mean, it's in locked rooms with, like, all sorts of security measures, you know. If you have that information in a briefcase, it has to be attached to you, and you get, like, like confessionals every 6 months to make sure you haven't like told anyone.
But it did get out. I mean, it
Yeah,
eventually
it did. From South Park.
from South
Yeah,
Park.
that's where I learned about it.
Wow.
I also did an interview with Isaac Hayes, so. So you remember how that whole speech was bleeped out? It wasn't supposed to be bleeped out. Oh, come the fuck on! Baby is. Wait, are we looking on time? I think like we're gonna show like this one clip and we're done.
Stand! Stand!
That's my favorite. Like how he says his name, like stop.
Stand! Stand! I'm dying! Stand! I need more alcohol!
That's my favorite episode. Okay, what the hell happened? You were fine before.
Ryder, you said the goo machine would work, but I got made fun of.
That's because there is no goo, Mr. Cruz.
Uncensored. Here we go.
You see, I learned something today. Throughout this whole ordeal, we've all wanted to show...
What the fuck?
Wow.
There we go. Okay.
You see, I learned something today. Throughout this whole ordeal, we've all wanted to show things that we weren't allowed to show. But it wasn't because of some magic goo. It was because of the magical power of threatening people with violence. That's obviously the only true power. If there's anything we've all learned, it's that terrorizing people works.
That's right. Don't you see, Gingers? If you don't want to be made fun of anymore, all you need are guns and bombs to get people to stop. That's right, friends. All you need to do is instill fear and be willing to hurt people, and you can get whatever you want. The only true power is violence.
Yeah.
And that was it. Thank you for coming. South Park, movie tomorrow, East Hanover, sing along. So it's gonna be fun.
What's happening?
There's gonna be South Park releasing the movie tomorrow, but it's gonna be a sing along. It's gonna be in East Hanover. So.
Wait, when is this?
Like tomorrow. It's not on the schedule. It's just something like.
Yeah, that's a Fathom event at like all participating theaters.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Oh,
Sorry for the tech
Fathom
issues.
events?
Thanks, panel. Time.
Do you know what time?
They're showings tomorrow at 4 and 7.
Okay.
Okay. That was fun. Thank you.
Bye, guys.